Chairman, I'd like to make a motion right here. We draw up a resolution, send it to the legislature in Nashville to lift the qualifications for road superintendent. Because the road superintendent we have now will tell you that, and I may have the percentage off a little bit, probably 75–80% of the work that he does is administrative work. It's not actually out here on the road. We've got, and I think this needs to be put in the resolution, for their benefit in Nashville, that we have no gravel roads. We've got all blacktop roads, is that not right, Lowell? All of them blacktop, and all we do is maintain what roads we have, along with, keeping the, long arm bush roads busy, and making repairs on the roads that we have, and most of that falls under administrative work. We don't actually build roads anymore, so therefore, I don't think we need qualifications for a road superintendent. So I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I got you. If you don't care, Charlie, restate exactly what you want your motion.
Yeah, that was really long, Charlie. To remove the restriction.
You want that? You're forming a motion to remove the restrictions for your qualifications for road superintendent. Alright. I got a motion on the floor. Low, what was it? I got a motion, I got a second.
I'll second.
Got a motion second, now we'll open it for discussion. Anybody, commission, or, Low, either one wants to speak on this, or anybody wants to speak on it, for or against it, whatever. Anybody, commission?
I'd like the law to speak on it.
Yeah, I would, Lo, can you speak to us on that?
On the qualifications?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, sometime back, 3-4 years ago, they put the qualifications back on. Charlie, 2000 and something, they took them off.
1994, I turned the resolution in, that basically the same resolution to lift the qualifications. It went to Nashville through the legislature, and they passed that to lift those qualifications. And then they put it back on a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear that I didn't have anything to do with taking them off, or I didn't have anything to do with putting them back on, because that was done in Nashville. I had no input in that whatsoever. So, you know, if we take them off, that's fine with me, or if you leave them on, that's fine with me, but if what y'all want to do will be fine, from my standpoint.
Well, is it gonna hamper your job as a superintendent for Hawkins County?
Mine, no, it won't have any effect on it at all.
Let me state, because I like to clarify things, I'll tell you why that I support this, is, you know, as far as the road superintendent goes, Lowell will tell you right now, that if you've not got somebody that's a good business person in there to try to handle things, you know, you might have somebody who knows how to go out here and build the best roads in the world, but they can't manage their budget. You gotta have somebody that can manage the budget. In some cases, a good business person would be better off as a road superintendent, because Lowell don't go out there and build roads. You don't go out there and drive dozers and trucks and stuff like that, do you, Lowell?
No.
And that's qualifications, you have to have so many years road experience, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's why I support taking it off. I mean, that's just me.
So, one of the issues that we're gonna be bringing up here at this meeting is the Jimtown Road. And that would take a little bit more experience. Are we able, as a superintendent, are you able to get all the information you want from the engineers out of the state to handle these situations for?
We've got an engineer, Mr. Steve Wilson, and yeah, he does all that. I took him down there, and I'll be giving you his report here just shortly.
So anything comes up
like that, we've got people that we can bring in.
okay.
And if we're gonna build a bridge, Steve engineers it, and we get a contractor. I issue the bids, the contract, and I do all that. Yeah, it's.
How long a process is this if we turn this in, it goes to the legislature? Will it be done before the next election?
What was it, Charlie, took last time?
Well, we got it turned in the other time before the legislature met, they're gonna be meeting in, January, is that right, Mayor? You said they were meeting in January.
That's when
They
they'll
are.
meet, that's when they'll meet,
Yeah.
January. It's gonna be, you know,
It'll get
whether or
some-
not, you know, it can be done, and then it might not get done, you know, in time.
Yeah, they may not approve it, but at least we tried.
Yeah.
From our end.
So, I mean, the petitions, you can pick up a petition in December, but you don't have to be turned in until January,
February, usually
February,
February,
whatever.
February.
So, you know, if the qualification, if this happens, yeah, you can still do it this election, but, you know. Should've been done.
Dawson, I'd like to say something.
Go ahead, Jay, go ahead.
My name's Chad Collins, I'm a foreman over the Highway Department. Mr. Brewer, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree with what you're saying. What you're saying is right, but if you don't have anybody in there that knows something about a road work, maintaining roads, mowing roads, you can have a truck driver come in and be a superintendent. Well, he drives on the road, but what do you do when you got a tile washed out? Or what kind of rock are you gonna put in it? Or, which, a lot of that falls on me. I'm the foreman over there, okay? And that falls on me. But if you don't have a little bit of sense of what needs to be done, or what's in the long run, what's gonna happen, I think that, they ought to stay in there, or the stipulations should be there. And that's just the way I think, and, no disrespect to any of y'all, but, that's just my thoughts, and I appreciate you listening to me.
I appreciate what you say, you got every right in the world to feel that way. It's like everybody's got their own opinions.
Right.
And, you know, if I was the road superintendent, I'd be hiring somebody like you that knows what they're doing to help me. And I would depend on their advice a lot, because I don't have any road experience, other than when I was mayor of Penn Station, I was over the road superintendent. That was my duty, is to make sure he's done what he's supposed to do. Well, guess what? He knows a whole lot more than I did. So you gotta be careful, and, you know, I understand what you're saying, and I respect that. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good idea for that guy to have road experience. But sometimes, the business part of it, you can have all the road experience in the world, if you don't know how to manage your budget, guess what? A lot of them roads ain't gonna be fixed. And I respect what you have to say, and I somewhat agree.
I see the catch 22 of it there, sorry to interrupt. I do see the catch 22 of it there, 6 on one, half does the other. I'm kinda like both you boys, I'm one way and the other way too. I don't know, who we getting ready to talk, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's fine. I just wanna ask, what exactly are the requirements to be a road superintendent now?
I wish I'd brought them with me. There's two of them, and one of them you have to be an engineer. The next one you have to have an engineer degree or a equivalent, GED, whatever. The other one, the next one, you have to be a supervisor over the road maintenance for 4 years.
Are these all one or you have to have them?
1 hour,
One or, okay.
yeah,
You say for 4 years?
yeah.
You said engineering degree or GED, there's a big
Well,
difference between those two.
equivalent, yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty big wide divide
Okay,
there.
did you say engineering degree or equivalent to GED?
Well, it's something similar to that. I can't quote it right off because
So you pretty much just gotta graduate higher.
you got to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Probably the GED probably comes in for this person that's a supervisor that's worked over the
4
road
years,
for 4
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
4 That's probably
years,
where the
yeah.
GED comes into
Yeah.
play.
I got you.
Yeah,
Cause you can't become an engineer unless you.
with a GED,
got a high
no,
school
you
diploma.
can't with a GED, but,
I got you.
I know in the school system, of course, that I know that's what I retired out of. They approved that you could have a business degree and become the director of schools. And I know from sometimes that presented a little bit of an issue because, you know, they don't know anything about school and they would wanna do something, cut budget, do this and that created an issue. And, this is gonna be a toughie.
I think prior to these qualifications, correct me Charlie if I'm wrong, all you really had to have was a high school diploma and live in the county and, or did you have a GED then? I believe that's what it was, yeah, for a high school education. That was a previous qualification.
Anybody else got anything? We got a motion on the floor to, change the qualifications, or lift the qualifications for road superintendent, for the people to pass, take to the full commission, and to take, to the legislative body and, in Nashville, to get changed if it passes. You know, I got a motion by Commissioner Thacker, I got a second by Commissioner Brewer. Everybody good, no more discussion?
This is just a motion to send it to full commission, will have to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it passes, that resolution will be sent to Nashville, to the legislature, then they will have to make a decision. And the thing about it is, there are counties, not necessarily Hawkins County, but there are counties in Tennessee that actually have a problem with anybody even qualified with those qualifications Lord is mentioned. Because it's either, it's a civil engineering degree or the road experience. And a lot of times you don't have that. I'm talking about poorer counties all over Tennessee.
You got and speaking to the other 6, if you've got questions or something about it, if you don't understand it, but like I said, it just never got brought up. And, you know, now's the time to either ask it or ask Charlie to wait, or we're gonna vote. I mean,
Well, what's kind of sticking in my mind, you know, what his workforce in the past may not be workforce in the future.
Sure.
Of course, I think a lot of the new regulations and laws and so forth, may require a little more sophistication in that. So I don't know, it leaves a big question if we're thinking about something 10 or 20 years ago, I don't think there'd be a thought of it, but we're thinking about it today for the future. There's a lot of questions out there in my mind.
Well, Mr. Bean ran for it in 2006 and was elected, and he worked at Kingsport Press and retired from there. But the qualification wasn't on at the time. And he's been there for 16 years. He's always helped me when I needed it. And 8 years I wasn't on the county commission, but he still helped me. You know, I don't have any problem with, I mean, he didn't have the qualifications for him getting that. If they'd been on to actually run. But he's made an excellent road superintendent, I think. I speak very highly of him. He's been good.
Thank you.
Qualifications don't necessarily mean anything.
Are we tying ourselves into a knot?
Do what?
Could we be tying ourselves into a knot by putting these restrictions or qualifications in effect?
We're taking them off,
For
we're being
example,
qualifications.
the gentleman sitting here seems to be well qualified from just a little bit of experience I heard ago. I don't know if he would qualify under the qualifications.
They wouldn't be no qualifications.
If we do this, it wouldn't
He'd be
be.
qualified no matter what. I don't know what his qualifications
If
is
he's
or not,
not
but if he wants to run for road
If he's
superintendent.
not a engineer, you wouldn't.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's.
You can't qualify anyway. You're either gonna have a GED, and either graduate with a GED or an engineering degree, or 4 years Chad's got at least two of those, I mean, I know you graduated out of school, but I mean,
You gotta have one or the other.
yeah, there's not gonna be anything if we left it, you know, meaning that Rick could run, you could run, whoever, I mean, like I said, it's 6 1, half dozen other, but regardless, we got any more questions?
Question.
Got a question? Question's been called, let's do a vote. Alright, all in favor of lifting the roads? Oh, okay.
Sending it to the full committee.
All in favor, I'm gonna do a roll call vote on there, but first, I'm gonna restate what we're doing there again for everybody. We are voting to lift the qualifications for, what it would take to run, in the election for road superintendent. And, if elected, you know, there's no qualifications, which means it opens it up, right? Takes the qualifications on there now, they'll be gone. Sarah, could you do a roll call for me, please?
George Bridwell,
I'm gonna abstain. I'm just,
Charlie Thacker,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
Dawson Fields,
Yes.
Linda Davis,
Yes.
Rick Brewer,
Yes.
Donnie Talley.
Yes.
Got 6 yes, and 1 abstain. Motion carried.